In the previous lectures, we have learned working with the strings. And in this lecture, we will do one more challenge and do one more nice exercise based on strings. Now let's take a look here. So this is our example based on flights. Here our goal is basically to transform this indistinct message, which is the string, into this nicely formatted output. For example, if we get this string from some kind of web API, and our goal in our application is to display the data like this. Now let's start by taking a look at our string here. So we can think about how to approach this problem. So we see that we have basically 4 lines of output here. If we take a look at the string, we can see that here the first part, that is having the plus sign, and you see that this here we have this first part, this one, and then we have this plus sign, and you see that here is another one and another one. So essentially this plus sign acts as a separator between these 4 pieces of information. So these 4 flights, one here I showed you, then here is the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one. So let's start by dividing that. We can transform this one string into 4 pieces. For that, let's write here console.log, and then here we are going to use the split method, right? Flights.split, and then here I'm using plus sign. Now here let's see the result. Reload. Here we have that the one string into these 4 pieces of information having one array. See that here. So here basically we have one line for each of the flights. So that means that we want to log to the console for each of the flight. And so we should probably loop over this array and then create a string like this in each of iterations. So let's use the for of loop for writing for const flight. So flight of, here I am directly using the flight dot split. And then here giving plus. Now here write console.log flight. Now we are trying to access that flight variable, but of course it is flights. So let's write here flights. Here the 4 strings that are logged separately to the console. Now it's time to build each of these nicely formatted string out of his mess. So that we get here, again we notice that we have an element which is basically splits or separates different pieces of the information inside of the string. So here we have a delayed departure. So we have this airport code here, another one, and we have the time of arrival, and exactly what we have, the string that we have here, the late departure, the airport code and all. So let's extract this information from the string. I will start by splitting this variable now. So write split, and then this time I am using the semicolon. Now let's see here, reload. Now it is done. Now all we have to do is to get the data out of the array, and then format each of the 4 pieces here a little bit, and then assemble each of them into the final string. We can do it in many ways, but here I am going to use destructuring. So for that, let's erase this, and then now here write const, and then give here, this is also removed, and then we have here departure and arrival for specifying the variable. So for that here I am writing type, and then the second one is the from. Everyone here we see that from and to. So for that reason I am giving from, and then next to, and then next time. Now let's start creating an output string here. So for the const output, that is equal address, giving here time, type of the from, and then next giving to, and then next giving time. Here we have that this time in open and close parenthesis. So for that, let's give it here open and close parenthesis. And then let's log this into console output. Now let's see the result. Now here we have 4 strings. Let's now individually format each of these 4 pieces. Here we have to replace the colon with H. So for that, let's write here time dot replace, and then here give colon, and then the next one with H, small h. Here now we need to replace these underscores. We have to remove and then replace this with spaces. Now let's replace the underscore with the empty space. Dot replace, here give, before giving this we please replace all. This is the best one for using here. Underscore, and then give here space. Now you see that we have added some spaces here and then also removed the underscores. Now here we need space at the beginning of each of the string like this. We will see that later because we will have to add some strings, actually some spaces. That is based on here we have arrival, before that we have some more space, and then this departure have also some more space. Let's now add the emojis first whenever the departure or the arrival is delayed. Here that whenever we have delayed, then only we have to place this emoji. So for that, let's write here right here type dot starts with, using here starts with method, whenever you see delay please the emoji, paste, then or with space. Actually here if the type string starts with the delayed, but in fact it does with delayed at this point. Whenever if the type is starts with the delayed, then place the red mark. But here in this type actually we have the underscore. So now let's see the result. So see it is displayed before the delayed. Now here we have this letter. We have to convert these letters to uppercase. So for that let's write here from dot slice of 0 to 3. I need to is uppercase. Let's see the result. See here we have the result. It changed to uppercase. These four. Now without writing that again and again, let's create a function that get code that is equal str dot slice. Basically we are refactoring the code. So further place this dot to uppercase. And here let's place this in brackets. And then here write get code. Now here also the same. Now we see this is almost done. The output string actually starts and ends here. So now we want to apply the pad start method on the entire string. Using pad start method to give the spaces on start and end. Here we want to give that. I'm giving here dot pad start and then I'm giving 50. It is too much, so let's give here the one that 40. Let's take a look. Reload. See here it is also. I'm giving here 36, 35. It's also now 6. Let's change it to 40, 41, 40. Now this is perfect. And then if we give here any dot or something else, let's take a look. See here it will appear like this. And now we need only space. So let's place like this, give a space. So we are done with this example. I hope that you have enjoyed a lot with this string methods. We'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you.